What kind of founder are you? And honestly, are you even meant to build a startup? Yeah, that's a real question. Is success waiting for you in startups or not? I've read dozens of studies and reports, so you don't have to. And this video will probably change the way you see startups. By the end, you'll be a little different, trust me. Get ready for a ton of insights. In this video, you'll find out the 6 types of founders that actually succeed. Who wins, the introvert or the extrovert founder? Why some loser founders raise more money than smart beginners? How old the average founder really is, a kid or an old man? And why chasing investors early on might be your biggest mistake. Alright, let's go. So back to the main question, what's your founder type? Can you actually launch a startup alone? A study of 20,000 startups around the world found something surprising. There is no such thing as a perfect entrepreneur. In fact, the startup world is more like an orchestra. Success happens when different personalities play together. The first type, the visionary. They're like a spotlight. They see what doesn't exist yet. They are the ones who build Tesla, OpenAI, SpaceX. But visionaries burn out fast, unless they have the second type nearby, the operator. The operator is the process guy. They set deadlines, control the budget, and bring the dreamer back down to earth. Without them, the startup turns into chaos on wheels. The third type, the analyst. They live in data. They're a cold, logical brain of the company. The one who checks every idea before the team runs off chasing illusions. The fourth, the communicator. The one who can sell anything. They connect the team, the customers and investors, all through trust. Fifth, the engineer. They turn words into code and ideas into real products. Their superpower is focus and technical thinking. And the last one, the culture builder. They're like glue holding everyone together. They don't build the product, they build the vibe. They make sure the team doesn't fall apart under pressure. And here's the thing, successful startups almost never come from people of the same type. 3 visionaries in one team, disaster. 3 engineers, same story. But if you mix a visionary, an operator and a communicator, your chances of success triple. The Founder Genome Project actually proved this. Diversity of types makes or breaks startups. Alright, let's move on. Let's have a quick fight. In one corner, the introvert founder, in the other, the extrovert founder. Who wins? Write your guess in the comments. Here is what studies found. At the start, extroverts win. They convince investors faster, gather a team and sell air, stuff that doesn't even exist yet. Their energy drives momentum during the chaos phase. That's why early-stage startups led by extroverts usually make noise in the media. But when it's time to manage, not inspire, introverts take over. They listen, observe, analyze. The 3 traits that define mature companies. MIT Sloan research showed that teams led by introverts are 20 to 30% more effective during the scaling stage. So yeah, the truth is, startup success is really a race between extroverts and introverts. One builds the energy, the other builds system. That's why so many legendary companies were founded by opposites. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, Elon Musk and Gwynne Shotwell, Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Now, if I ask you to close your eyes and picture a successful startup founder, who do you see? Probably a young guy in a hoodie, right? Some Silicon Valley looking dude coding in cafe. Well, not really. Here's the fact that might shock you. The average successful founder isn't 20, 25 or even 30. It's 45 years old. MIT analyzed 2.7 million entrepreneurs. And it's people in their 40s who most often build the companies that actually take off. Why? Because at 20 you have ideas, but you don't see the traps yet, you are too naive. At 30 you've got experience but also fear and doubts. By 40 or 50 you've been through it all. Failures, bad bosses and dozens genius ideas that went nowhere. You've learned not just how to start but how to finish. That's the age of system thinking and real experience. And get this, the chance of success for a 50-year-old founder is almost twice as high as for a 30-year-old. Because a startup isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Yeah, sounds cliché, but it's true. Young founders burn bright, but they burn out fast too. The biggest asset isn't youth or money, it's adaptability. older founders have deep networking and wisdom, and that's what it takes to build something that lasts. So don't stress if things are not working out yet. Now let's talk about money, because everyone wants it, especially founders. But here is something that might blow your mind. The more I read research and failure stories, the clearer it gets. Money doesn't speed up success, it speeds up death. According to CB Insights, around 70% of startups that raised big funding died within 5 years. Money makes you stop thinking simple. Instead of testing your idea on 10 real customers, you rent an office, hire a marketing guy, and buy MacBooks for every intern. You start playing a company instead of building one. Money gives you illusion that you've already won, when in reality you just bought a ticket to a startup roller coaster. Let's play a quick game. Who do you think gets the funding? A 25-year-old guy, smart, calm, great developer from a top university, perfect pitch, textbook candidate. Or 33-year-old guy who already had 2 failed startups, lost investors' money and is now trying again. Who gets the cash? Surprisingly, it's the second one. Because investors don't give money to people with fire in their eyes. They give it to the people who've already been burned and learned what to do when everything falls apart. A Harvard Business School study found that founders who have failed before get funding twice as often as first-timers with perfect pitches. Failure teaches us what matters most: humility in handling capital. And here is another insight: Basecamp, GitHub, Canva. They all started small. Grew from product first, not from money. They had to listen to users, not investors. That's why their products feel alive, not corporate. Because investments aren't a gift, they're a deal with the devil. You trade freedom for speed, and if you're not ready for that, that speed will crush you. So think 10 times before chasing investors. And let me leave you with this. You can be an introvert or an extrovert. You can be 20 or 50, it doesn't matter. What matters is one thing: you keep going. You don't give up when it fails. Because success isn't a flash, it's a progress. It grows quietly, like roots on the ground, slow, invisible, but unstoppable. I've got a full video on this. At what age will you become successful? Check it out after this one. It doesn't matter how much money, how many connections, or how many likes you have. What matters is that you have enough energy inside to stand up again and take another step. The world isn't divided into the lucky and unlucky. It's divided into those who stopped and those who kept going. Don't give up, my friend. Subscribe to the channel, it's for dreamers, founders, and everyone who wants to build something of their own. See you in the next one, and hey, you've got this.